राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह, जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह, जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद की जय। ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त श्रीराधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। चलो पाठ की चलो। Where were we last time? Where were we? 2.18.
3.18. 18 completed. Okay.
अंतवन्तै मे देहा नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः, अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत। Again Krishna says in this verse, get up and fight. Now you should note down.
Mataji 3.18 complete हुआ है.
So 3.1. Only I'm thinking I've completed all these things. You have gone to third chapter. Wow. Oh yeah. So many classes happen, right? Okay. So Krishna has given nice arrangement of devatas as well as the men in general. So then there is parasparam bhava. You give, I'll give. And they say everybody is just giving. If I give, then you give. Ultimately, it belongs to whom? It belongs to Krishna. If demigods are giving some benediction, they have to give it back to demigods. Again, the demigods, what they do, they give it to. So it goes in other different forms. So now, 18th verse. 18th, na Pakka? Yeah, 18th verse.
Mataji, 18th is over, 19th we have to start.
19th verse. So now, 17th verse is again the turning point of confusion. Krishna knows to confuse, isn't it? Arjuna was very peaceful, but Krishna confused. That is how you were very peaceful before joining Bhakti Shastri. Now see you are always in tension now. To study. Yasmad Ratirevasya Atmadrittavscha Manavaha. This was a confusing verse. The confusing verse is if a person is satisfied in the self, Atmanyevacha Santushtas, Tasya Karyam na Vidyate. There is no Karyam at all. The person is satisfied, he doesn't have to do any work. And the self-realized soul, he has no purpose to do a work. At the same time, He has no reason for not doing the work. He may do, he may not do. If somebody is calling him for the marriage ceremony or bar ceremony, he may go, he may not go. There is no purpose for going. There is no reason for not going also. That means he's so self-realized. He has sometimes out of enviousness also people don't go, or some hatred must be there. But he has nothing like that. Nor some attachment is there so that he has to fulfill that, he has to go, some obligations. Nothing. He has no obligations towards anyone. He may not. A self-realized soul, that means a pure devotee, has no obligations towards anyone. He may do it, he may not do it. There may be no material purpose. If at all any purpose is there, that is spiritual purpose. He has no material purpose, nor he has any obligations. In the marriage ceremonies, generally they go on writing, oh, he gave 100 rupees, he gave 200 rupees. In my viva also they wrote. I asked my father-in-law, why we write all this? He told, then only when you go to their marriage, you should also give. I said, is it? Never attended. Just say, now that time 100 rupees is how much value now? Are you going to do the valuation? Who came, who did not come? So many things to write and so many obligations. If you have a higher task, all these lower tasks, the obligatory tasks, automatically, nobody minds also, automatically goes on. 19th verse. तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो हि चरन् कर्म क्रमाप्नोति पुरुषः. Therefore, now and therefore comes with now the conclusion. Krishna says something and then afterwards tasmat means therefore. Asaktah satatam, always perform your duty. Satatam karyam, karma samachara. Today my Shiksha Guru got karma veera. So what is that karma veera? It is not material karma, it means adhyatmika. So now work without attachment. There should be no attachment. That is known as a real karma. Now see, Krishna is telling to perform karyam, but how? Asaktaha satatam. Many times if any outsider you say please chant. You know what Krishna has told? He has told to perform karma. Yes, but how? Without attachment. You go to work and give everything to us. Then you say no, this belongs to me. At least give some portion. No. See, one is known as sakam karma. One is known as nishkama karma. One is known as akarma. Sakarma, akarma, and vikarma. In that akarma also, performing everything to Krishna, there also it is sakama, nishkama, and completely for Lord, that is bhakti. So when you say sakama means some portion is kept. Nishkama, attachment to the work is there, but 100% to Krishna. And then completely giving everything to Krishna. That is bhakti yoga. That is complete, that the highest level of bhakti. It's not that this is also not bhakti, this is also bhakti, some portion is kept. But highest level is what? Everything is for Lord. No attachment to the work also, no attachment to the fruits also. If Krishna tells Arjuna, sweep the battlefield, he should do that. He should not say that I cannot do. Oh, I am Shastri, I cannot do. That is how Srila Prabhupada, when his Guru told, go to West and preach. He did not say, no, I am the pharmaceutical director, I am a pharmaceutical company owner. He did not say that. He just went. What he did there, he was cooking, cleaning the utensils, and he was cooking and giving to the disciples. Whoever is to come is to cook. He only is to cook, so clean his own vessels. So in this way, when the acharyas are at the level of pure devotional service, it's not just nishkam. It is completely at this level of pure devotional service, where there is no attachment for the work also, for the results of the work also. That is why here asaktaha satatam. This asaktaha satatam goes at every level. One level is some portion you are giving. Yes, you are not attached to that portion. Like out of maybe 1 lakh of your earnings, you are giving some 10,000 of whatever. You are not attached to that. That is why you are giving. That is one level. Another level, you're giving whole thing, but you're attached to the work. Another level, you're not attached to the work also, you're not attached to the fruits also. Asakto yacharan karma. So in this way, he performs the work. Paramapnoti Purusha. If in this way, Acharan Karma, if he performs like this, without attachment, he performs his activities, then he can attain the Supreme Personality of God. So let's read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Shlok number 19. तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो य आचरन् कर्म परम् आपनोति पुरुषः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme. Purport. The Supreme is the personality of Godhead for the devotees and liberation for the impersonalist. A person, therefore, acting for Krishna or in Krishna consciousness under proper guidance and without attachment to the result of the work is certainly making progress toward the supreme goal of life. Arjuna is told that he should fight in the battle of Kurukshetra for Krishna. Krishna wanted him to fight. To be a good man or a non-violent man is a personal attachment, but to act on behalf of the is to act without attachment. That perfect action of the highest demanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Vedic rituals, like prescribed sacrifices, are performed for purification of impious activities that were performed in the field of sense gratification. But action in Krishna consciousness is transcendental to the reactions of good or evil work. A Krishna conscious person has no attachment for the result but acts on behalf of Krishna alone. He engages in all kinds of activities but is completely non attached. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yes. A Krishna conscious person is engaged in all type of activities, but he is completely non-attached. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिः आस्थितः जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रह एवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् performing the work with perfection. Asita Janaka, there was something like souls like Janaka. Who is Janaka? Janaki's father is Janaka. Sita's father is Janaka. So like that, there are kings who have performed such an activities with great perfection. Actually, devotees means when you say you are a devotee, I am a devotee, anybody says anything, he or she is a devotee, his work should be with perfection. Prabhupada is to go and check the fridge. Hey, what is this? Kachara. Everything should be perfect. Your cooking should be perfect. Your cleaning should be perfect. Then you are devotee. Your behavior should be perfect. That means if you are serving with all perfect, automatically perfectness. We don't have to endeavor for perfectness, but automatically perfect. The person becomes perfect if he is serving Krishna with complete perfect attention. That all perfect with complete perfect attention gives perfectness even to the devotee. So now Janakadiha, such Janaka, Adi, they also perform the work with great attention and get perfection. Loka Sangraham evapi. So just for teaching the people, Loka Sangraha, Sampashyan Kartumarhasi. That is why they perform activity. For a self-realized soul, there is actually no activity. 17th verse says, he has no duties, but he is performing a duty just to show to others. He has no obligatory duties. When he is performing a work, that is just to teach the people in general. Okay. We are in
Hare Krishna. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आसित जनकादय लोकसंग्रहम् एवापि संशयं कर्तुम् अर्हसि. Translation: Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Purport: Kings like Janaka were all self-realized souls. Consequently, they had no obligations to perform the prescribed duty in the Vedas. Nonetheless, they performed all prescribed activities just to set examples for the people in general. Janaka was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Sri Ram. Being a great devotee of the Lord, he was transcendently situated. But because he was the king of Mithila, a subdivision of Bihar province in India, he had to teach his subjects how to perform prescribed duties. Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal friends, had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but they fought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, every effort was made to avoid the war, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the other party was determined to fight. So, for such a right cause, there is a necessity for fighting. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced persons in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse. Hare Krishna.
So he should set an example. Like next verse speaks about it. The elders, the children see the elders. Then you say, Bacha, tu gada hai. Pura din TV dekhta hai. And you say gada means you are also gadi. Na? Gada is produced by Gadi only. He saw the TV. Why? Because you brought the TV. You should have not brought. Parents generally say, you donkey. You donkey means your mother is also donkey. That is why he is also donkey. All the habits are taught by parents only. If the child is good, that means parents are good. If the child is not behaving good, naturally parents are like this. They did not put attention. ये लड़का बुद्धू है, लड़का पागल. You are also pagal. Because you did not put attention. It is true. It may be very sounding very hard, but it is true. If the children are well cultured, all the credit goes to the parents. Why? They have put that much efforts. It is not so easy to grow a plant. The farmer has to remove the weeds. The farmer waters the plant and goes on seeing very minutely. कहीं दाग लग गया क्या? कहीं कीड़ा लग गया क्या? They see ना? You see how the farmer grows the plants? In the same way, even the children has to be nourished like that. Sometimes unwanted friends the children may have. It's not the money which grows the children. Understand it nicely. It's not the money which grows the children. It is your attention which grows the children. How attentive you are in growing your child. It's not that you buy something, you go and buy something, you take him somewhere outing. कहाँ घूमने को गए, अमेरिका घूमने को गए, यहाँ घूमने को. That is not nourishment. Nourishment means scrutinizing, watching everything, every activity, being with the emotions of the children. The emotions of the children changes according to the ages, especially when they become adolescent. At that time, father and mother have to put so much of attention to them right from the beginning. And then if they are not attentive at that time, it is said there is a kosha understanding. I had attended that class. Between 1 year, till 5 years, Annakosha is very high. Annakosha means every now and then the child will ask something. I want to eat this, I want to eat that. He's not satisfied with 2 times a meal or 3 times a meal. He will eat the meal small and then go on eating the whole day. At the time, you cannot just buy some lays and that and this, some wafers from outside. No, mother has to cook. Mother has to make something hot. That is known as Annakosha. At that time, the children's Annakosha is so much, they just want to eat something or the other. And if they see mother putting the efforts, they love it. They love to tell. I still remember my son came and told. He was crying. He said, what happened? My friend brought something small, small, small. I told, Sabudana? No, no, no. Something small, small, small. I told, what? Yellow in color. I told, what yellow in color? Then my mother understood. Oh, it is bundi. Yes, bundi. Immediately we made bundi. I still remember 3 years. Something small. Then when they compare, oh, my dabba, your dabba. And we have to be available for that. We have to be available. And we have to give the children the best. So till 5 years, this is known as Annakosha. If mother goes to work, then what he will do? Bichara, to whom he will say all these things? That is why mothers should be available for the children. In free time, you do whatever you want. But when the child is at home, when child comes from the school, the mother should be there. Because many times children have a lot of complaints. My friend did that, my friend did this. Then mother has to be there to hear all these things. Then from 6 years onwards to 10 years, it is prana kosha. What is the meaning of prana kosha? He is very active. The child is very active. The child wants to do something or the other. And nowadays the trend is you sit before the TV and just spoil your prana kosha. Or you take your mobile and go on seeing the mobile. At that time, what you should do, you should give the children like some pocha. Go on wiping the floor. He is very much active. They like to do that. Our Gurukul children, they do something or the other. For the time their prana is so much, you have to give them some or the other work. And they do it fast also. Like Allah Din Jinn is there. Na? They do it everything fast. You should give them, you should make them active. Some blunt chaku you should give, cut the vegetable, something like that. Something or the other they want it. Prana kosha. And then slowly the Jnana Kosha also creeps in this time. And what is the Jnana Kosha? They'll ask some stupid question. Why the sun is behind the tree? By the time you answer something, they'll answer another question. So they are not interested in your answer. They are interested in asking questions. They want that whether your ears are there or not. They'll ask some stupid questions. You should go on answering. They don't want any scientific knowledge or scientific answers for it. They are not into getting the answers. They are into asking the questions. And they want your ears to be heard. But you go on hearing my stupid questions and you go on answering something we are not interested in your answer. They will go on asking the questions. So that time just say how much a mother and a father's role plays there. What your bai will say. What you're sitting here, people will do. That is why mother and father, they more than father, it's mother who plays a lot of important role in the cultivation of the child. And then comes Vijnana Kosha. That is the time he does the analysis. Whatever stupid questions or whatever questions he has asked, because you gave time, that question is there within his consciousness. And now he has that intelligence to get the or fetch the answer. From 11 years onwards, his intelligence works to fetch the answer. And that is where Jnana Kosha slowly turns to Vijnana Kosha, 15 years onwards, 14, 15 years onwards, it is Vijnana Kosha. What is this Vijnana Kosha doing? मैंने अटेंड किया था क्लास हरी बोल are you able to hear my voice able
Yes,
to hear
Mataji.
And why is it that something else is coming here? I'm not able to see you all. Something wrong, Gautam? Yeah, now it's okay. Acha, whiteboard. Who is doing this whiteboard? Okay. So this way, Vijnana Kosha, where he fetches. Now he's intelligent. Now is not the time to sit and hammer the children. Children development happens. Now just see when it started with your Anna Kosha, feeding the children. And then slowly, it's not that you stop in the feeding the children. Now that it is going on. But now which kosha is entering? Prana kosha enters. Then Jnana kosha enters. Give time to hear the stupid questions also, no problem. And then Vijnana kosha enters. In this Vijnana kosha, the children fetch their own doubts which they had answered. So now, even though mother may be just 10th pass, the child becomes IIT. Why? Because he knows to fetch his own answers. That time the mother need not have to sit. Mother is required to give all garam, garam, garam up to 15 years. Everything hot. Somebody has to be there to give hot food to the children. And to hear to their all blah, 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 everything, especially the night hours. The mother, the child likes to hug the mother and sleep. It's not that you give a separate room to the children. It's all foreign culture. Mothers, especially the chest, gives a lot of love to the children. Children like to hug and sleep the mother. It's not that husband and wife sleep in one room, children sleep in another. It's all stupid culture. And then comes after Vijnana Kosha. If the Vijnana Kosha is nourished nicely, at the level of 18 years, he experiences Ananda Kosha. That means he is a perfect devotee now. Is experiencing Ananda, the bliss, because that care is there. So now just say when you see a devotee child, immediately you can understand why is he experiencing Ananda Kosha? Because that much efforts the parents have put in the beginning. It's very much important, very much important. Like why the tree is giving a lot of fruits. Oh, gardener has nourished the garden very nicely. Why the kingdom is so wonderful? Oh, the king is so wonderful. That's why the rulers, they are the natural leaders. Parents, they're the natural leaders. What the children are seeing, what parents are doing. If parents fight, it enters the consciousness of the children. Their life is completely spoiled. That is why at least one of them should be very, very tolerant. Fight happens in every house. But if really we are really concerned about our children, then one of them have to be very, very tolerant. I'll tell you a nice story about Chevan Muni. There was, because I'm going little, I don't want to rush about. When you take a subject, you should go deep into the subject, and that is Bhakti Shastri. It's not just I teach and you run about, I finish my Bhakti Shastri, and what Shastri, you don't know anything. So when you say Bhakti Shastri, means you should know something, everything. So now here, where was I?
Chavan Muni.
Ah, there was a Muni. His name was Chevan Muni. Chevan Prash, you know, no? Chevan Prash. This Chevan Prash is because of the invention of the Muni, Chevan Muni. He only gave this Chevan Prash. So Chevan Muni was a very great scholar, very nice Muni. But he was very rude also. But somehow he was very great. One king was very influenced by him. And then the king gave his daughter to that Muni. And this Muni was very rude, not very good looking also, but this princess was very nice, very sweet. But he was not behaving good to this princess. He used to not even look at her, very, very rude, used to beat her, very rude. And she became so thin also. But she was very much austere. At the same time, she was pativrata. It's very important. Pati was nonsense. She was really a nonsense. But she was pativrata. Prabhupada writes this. You should read the Sandarbha in Bhagavatam. Because she was so austere, she was serving her husband so nicely, even though the husband was very cruel. Cruel in his words, cruel in his behavior, everything. But his wife was so wonderful. So Ashwini Kumar, see, Devatas, they observe us, how much patience, how much tolerance we have. Now, this princess, just see, she was a daughter of a king. She was so tolerant. Ashwini Kumara, who are the celestial doctors, they came and blessed her. They told, what austerity. Seeing her condition, even Devatas used to feel like to cry. And then they told, we want to give you a boon. She said, you give me boon in such a way that my husband becomes younger because he was older in age. So when he used to see this young wife, he used to feel more envious. Out of enviousness, he used to behave very rudely to her. And she said, you give youth to my husband. So in this way, he became so youthful and he became so sweet looking, nice. Then he realized his mistake. And in this way, both of them sat to perform yajna. See, he did so many mistakes, but still the wife was so tolerant. The wife, she just forgave everything. And what she did, she just asked the boon that he should become young. And in this way, both of them were performing it. The king comes there. When he sees the daughter, oh, he's sitting with her, she's sitting with another person, he wants to curse the daughter. See that those days, such type of parents were. The parents were not supporting daughters who used to come out of their houses. It's very important, very, very important. You may take it in a harsh way, in any other way. I have seen my father's sister, that is my Atya. Atya's daughter, she was in Shahabad. She had written to her mother, my husband is beating so much. My auntie told, better you die in the house. No problem. I think of committing suicide. No problem. You can do whatever you want. Once you are married, only your dead body should come out of that house. That was that culture. It's known as Kumari Samhita. The parents teach this. I know, I still remember my father also taught me this. Howsoever your husband will be, you should see that you tolerate the situation. Because those days they were like that. The king comes, he wants to curse. Then the daughter says, it's the same person to whom you got be married. Nowadays, everything is like, no, women's right, this right, that right. No, parents will not see the children, especially the daughters cannot. If the husband is not good, the parents interfere. They support the children. No, it is wrong. It is wrong. It's a house, how long we will tolerate. Prabhupada writes in that, see, acharyas, when they write, they don't write wrong. Acharyas write, the chastity of a woman is the weapon for that woman. The chastity. And that is the weapon for the house also. You have that power. The woman has the power of chastity. If she has this power, nobody in this whole universe can destroy her. In one place again, there is a nice, Satyavan Savitri. The Satyavan, he used to go to prostitutes. You know what Savitri did? Once he became so old and so feeble, she took him in the tokri to one of the prostitutes. Just see. These were our mothers. These were our women of our tradition. Nowadays, some doubt comes, immediately fight comes. Nobody is bothered about the children. That child has no father, nothing. The whole house is spoiled. Whole house is spoiled. Satyavan Savitri, that is why Satyavan became, he was to die, but Savitri had the power to make him alive. That is the power of a woman, understand it nicely. The power of a woman is her chastity, howsoever the husband is. Which husband does not scold? Even today, my Prabhuji scolds me. Everybody scolds. Father scolds. And sometimes son also scolds. Let them scold. Now what is there? You take from here this year, throw out from this year. Why put it inside? There are 2 years given. Na? Take here, take that out. So this is the verse. Yadadachariti shreshtastatpadeve tarojanah sayat pramanam kurte lokas tadanu vartate. Your behavior will reflect your dependence. Your behavioral pattern will reflect your children. The king's behavior will reflect in the citizens. This is this verse, which is a very important verse. For everyone, Lord is there. If you pray, Lord, oh Lord, give buddhi. Will not Lord give buddhi? Our sincere attempt should be somehow forgive, forget, and forgive. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Enter the divinity, be divine, enter the divinity. To err is human, everybody does some or other mistake. Somebody may do small mistake, somebody is doing big mistake. You know, my cousin, she burnt herself in Shahapur. Nobody did anything. My auntie told, that is your vidhi, what to do. They never entertained the daughters coming out of their houses. It's very, very important, very important. The daughters should not come out of their houses. They should be, whatsoever it may be. So this is this. This is the verse which speaks. Now read the purport, you will understand. Now, Rajit Prabhu, you read.
21st verse, right? Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yadyad acharati shreshtas tattat yevataro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartade. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Purport. People in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya, or the ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures like Manu Samhita and similar others are considered the standard books to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on the principles of such standard Shastras. One who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of a state, the father and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with standard books of moral and spiritual codes. Hare Krishna.
Next. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं शूलोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तं नानवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. No, Krishna is saying, even I don't have any work. Who is that? Who asked Krishna? But Krishna says, no, I also don't have work. He's already told. Rasya karyam karyam karanam cha vidyate. You don't have any work. That is already known. But still Krishna says, still I perform the work. Why? To teach people in general. Name parthasti kartavyam. Oh Partha, there is no prescribed duty for me in this three planetary system. You see word to word meanings. Trishu lokeshu. Kinchana na avaptavam. Why? I don't want anything. Why you work? To get something. I don't want anything, so I don't have any work. But still, okay, I'm engaged. Why I'm engaged? So that others also see that. Like Krishna wakes up in the morning and he sits in dhyanam. Now whose dhyanam is doing? Radharani's dhyanam only will do. Devotee's dhyanam will do. Now in Dwaraka, Krishna used to perform all his prescribed duties. He used to do everything. He used to be with. He used to perform all the rituals, everything so perfectly, so that people in general will learn. That's the only thing. People in general will learn. In the purport, see, natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samashcha abhyadikascha drishyate parasa shakti vivideva shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. If Krishna wants something to be done, Krishna can tell his energy, parasa shakti vivideva shruyate. He has so many multifarious energies. Why Krishna should do? He does just to show the people in general. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. He's a Maheshwara. Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam. Patim Patinam Paramam Parastat. Vidamadevam Bhuvanesham Vidyam. Okay. Read. 22nd verse. Gaurang, you read.
कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तम् अभक्तव्यं व्रत एव च कर्मणि. Translation. O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described in the Vedic literatures as follows. Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Tam Devatanam Paramam Chadaivatam Patim Patinam Paramam Parastal Vidam Devam Bhuvanesha Midyam Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate Natat Samaschabhyadikascha Drishyate Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Shruyate Swabhaviki Gnana Balakriya Cha. The Supreme Lord is the controller of all other controllers, and he is the greatest of all the diverse planetary leaders. Everyone is under his control. All entities are delegated with particular power only by the Supreme Lord, and they are not supreme themselves. He is also worshipable by all demigods, and is the supreme director of all directors. Therefore, he is transcendental to all kinds of material leaders and controllers, and is worshipable by all. There is no one greater than him, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. He does not possess a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between his body and his soul. He is absolute. All his senses are transcendental. Any one of his senses can perform the action of any other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than him or equal to him. His potencies are multifarious, and thus his deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.78. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work as some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. And yet, Lord Krishna is engaged on the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas, because the Kshatriyas are duty-bound to give protection to the distressed. Although he is above all the regulations of the revealed scriptures, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. Hare Krishna.
Next. यदि हम न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्तः यदि हम न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्य कर्मण्यतन्त्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. Yadi, if I navarteyam, if I don't do the duties, then if I do not perform the duties, then what will happen? If I do not perform my prescribed duties with atandrita, just see, with great care, that means we should be very careful when we perform our duties. It is not just to do, not just go office, come back. Every activity should be with a great care, especially prescribed duties. If he is a Brahmana, if he is a Kshatriya, if he is a Vaishya, if he is a Shudra, it's a Brahmachari or a Grihastha or a Vanaprasthi or a Sannyasi, everybody has their prescribed duties. And it has to be done with atandritaha. That means with great care. If I don't do that, then mama vartmanu vartante, all men will follow me. Simple. They'll also not do with great care. They'll also be like careless in doing the work. Like yesterday I saw some parents had come in the afternoon class, and the children had ruffle lace in their house in their hands. I just told throw out all these things. So this is not care. This is not careful growing of the children. It's not careful nourishment. You give some ruffle lace. You give some Coca-Colas. That means you want some cancerous radicals to be there with them. It all contains cancerous radicals. You have to be very careful. What goes inside has to be washed, observed very properly. Even what bhogas we are offering to Krishna, we should be very careful. So we cannot be careless. Krishna consciousness means be careful of everything. Once I was getting down in the car and I was to go like this. Then my Shiksha Guru's Shiksha Guru, his name is Atmadatta Prabhu. He came, he was there in the car. He told, wait, why are you going like this? You should go like this. I said, okay. Then I did not say anything. He said, why? You do not ask me why. I said, you tell me. He said, the car where you are traveling for preaching moment, it becomes Ratha. And how will you do the Ratha? You should do Parikrama. And let's see how they are careful. He is Prabhupada's disciple. That means they are careful in everything. Krishna consciousness means careful of our every activity, not that stand and eat. Sit down, have prasad. It matters a lot. How much you're careful matters a lot. Krishna consciousness is be careful of what you're doing. Not that you eat while standing. Even getting down from the car and going like, because this car goes where? For the preaching activity, it becomes Ratha. Realized souls sit. So that means the Guru Parampara is there. That means Prabhupada is sitting. It becomes Ratha. So we should be very careful. At the time he quoted a word, Smriti Purana Pancharatrika Vidhi Vinayikantika Harer Bhakti Utpate Vahi Kevala. Smriti Purana Pancharatrika Vidhi Vina. I will not follow anything. I will do whatever comes in my mind. What will happen? Ekantika Harer Bhakti. He will do whatever he wants alone. Utpate Vahi Kevala. We will only cause Utpata. Because bhakti is not done on one's own. You cannot learn from your YouTube and do some bhakti. It has to come from parampara. Okay. Anshul Prabhu, please read. This is the last verse for today.
हर- हरे कृष्ण।
One more verse.
यदि हम
Yeah.
यदि हम न वर्तेयम जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रिय मम वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः।
यदि
Or if I
अहम नहीं, यदि यहम,
यहम
this is यहम, यदि
यहम
यदि यदि ही
यदि यहम
यहम,
यदि ही यहम
यदि यम.
यदि
Okay,
हम
read. यदि हम नहीं, idiom word, idiom is something idiom. यदि यम,
यदि
यदि
यम
यम, ठीक है, यम. Just go like this. Yam.
यम
Read.
For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Purport: in order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in spiritual life, there are traditional family usages meant for every civilized man. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls and not Lord Krishna, because he descended to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. Otherwise, common men would follow in his footsteps because he is the greatest authority. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that Lord Krishna was performing all the religious duties at home and out of home as required of a householder. Hare Krishna.
Okay, next.
Mataji, again, I have to read.
Wait. Last words now. उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं संकरस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि मा प्रजाः उत्सीदे उत्सीदेयुः इमेः लोकाः न kuryam karma. If I do not perform the prescribed duties, this whole world will be put in ruin. Utsidei. You should say word to word. You're Bhakti Shastri students, so you should know how to make sentences. Just go word to word. I'm not reading the down one. I'm reading word to word. Don't read directly translation. Don't do the shortcuts. If you learn this, this is how my Shiksha Guru taught me. You do word to word. This is how the parampara comes. Directly don't go to the translation. That is a ready-made thing. Go word to word. Utsideyu ime loka. That means these people will be put, loka means the world, the people will be put in ruin. If I do not perform the duty, that means if I do not teach them, sankarasya kartasyam, so unwanted children will be born. Uncared, unwanted population, uncared children. Like now the Shraddha ceremony is going on. How your children will come to do, how your children will do when they see you doing. Or one day we are also going to go. Somebody has to give oblations or not. If we don't do, what children will learn to do? That is why Pitrus, they suffer because such type of uh, children are there. They are not bothered nowadays, which parents are doing. Shraddha ceremony should be done with great care, lot of donations, lot of karyam is there. Go seva, Brahman seva, feeding the poor, feeding the dogs. So many things are there in this. So Pitrus are also happy because first you are giving the oblations to the Pitrus. And if you don't do that, what will happen? Our children will not do us for us. Simple. And then we will also suffer. Because then dharma karya, Pitruloka only first a person goes to Pitruloka. If he is a pious soul, he goes to Pitruloka. And from Pitruloka, he goes to higher planets. It's not directly to the higher planet. So first to the Pitruloka. And if the concerned person in the house, the family members, they are not interested in dharma karya, they are just interested in sense gratification. What happens? Sometimes a person thinks, okay, if I do some Shraddha ceremony in Gaya or in Haridwar, it is enough for me. Then after that, I sit and drink. Do you think the Pitrus are happy? It's not just one time. It is their whole behavioral pattern which actually gives happiness to the Pitrus. Why the people are suffering is because of Pitru doshas. And Pitru doshas are because of their unhappiness they express. That is why there is doshas. You should be very careful. So, Sankarasya cha kartasyam. Who are Sankara? Unwanted children who are not interested in all these things. They are not interested because they don't want to learn. There is nobody to teach. Even Lord Ram performed Shraddha for his father at Devaprayag. No, there is a Devaprayag. When you go from to Badri, there is a place known as Devaprayag, where Lord Ram also performs Shraddha to his father. Just see. So that is why we should be very careful. Sankarasya cha kartasyam uparhanyan imam prajaha. If we don't do that, the living entities will be completely. I would therefore destroy the peace of all the living entities. Now see the powerful ones. I will destroy. Krishna is taking the responsibility on his head. I will be the cause of creating unwanted population. If I do not perform the prescribed duty, then I will be the cause. In this way, very important. This 15 days of Shraddha, very important ceremony which today was my father's, my mother-in-law's, Navami. And by Krishna's mercy, it happened also in Sri Rangam, Tiruvambil temple, which is known as Dakshina Gaya. It happened in our Jagannath Devasthanam. Feed Brahmanas. Make the Pitrus happy. That is how they will bless upcoming generations. Generations after generations which is going on. It's not just father. Ancestors. Your ancestors are there. Everyone is there. It's not the soul is not dead. Soul is watching everything. Especially the soul is attached to the particular family, Gotras. When you say Gotras, the whole descendants. So we should be very careful about all our activities. Sankarasya, unwanted children will be born. That is why Krishna says, even I do the prescribed duty. Even Prabhu Ram did Shraddha for his father, Dashatha, at Devaprayag. That is why Devaprayag is very important place. Okay. Now, last verse, Anupama, you read.
सीदेयुरिमे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्यामुपहन्यामि मा प्रजा. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put into ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Purport. Varna Sankara is unwanted population which disturbs the peace of the general society. In order to check this social disturbance, there are prescribed duties and regulations by which the population can automatically become peaceful and organized for spiritual progress in life. When Lord Krishna descends naturally, he deals with such rules and regulations in order to maintain the prestige and necessity of such important performances. The Lord is the father of all living entities. And if the living entities are misguided, indirectly the responsibility goes to the Lord. Therefore, whenever there is general disregard of regulative principles, the Lord himself descends and corrects the society. We should, however, note carefully that although we have to follow in the footsteps of the Lord, we will have to remember that we cannot imitate him. Following and imitating are not on the same level. We cannot imitate the Lord by lifting Govardhana hill, as the Lord did in his childhood. It is impossible for any human being. We have to follow his instructions, but we may not imitate him at any time. The Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.30 to 31 affirms. Netats samacharajatu manasapi hyanishwara विनश्यति आचरण मौढ्यात् यथा रुद्रोब्धि जम विषम ईश्वराणां वच सत्यं तथैवाचरितं क्वचित् तेषां यत् स्ववचो युक्तं बुद्धिमांस्तत् समाचरेत्. One who should simply follow the instructions of the Lord and his empowered servants. Their instructions are all good for us, and any intelligent person will perform them as instructed. However, one should guard against trying to imitate their actions. One should not try to drink the ocean of poison in imitation of Lord Shiva. We should always consider the position of Ishwaras, or those who can actually control the movements of the sun and the moon, as superior. Without such power, one cannot imitate the Ishwaras, who are super powerful. Lord Shiva drank poison to the extent of swallowing an ocean. But if any common man tries to drink even a fragment of such poison, he will be killed. There are many pseudo devotees of Lord Shiva who want to indulge in smoking ganja, marijuana, and similar intoxicating drugs, forgetting that by so imitating the acts of Lord Shiva, they are calling death very near. Similarly, there are some pseudo devotees of Lord Krishna who prefer to imitate the Lord in his Rasa Leela or dance of love, forgetting their inability to lift Govardhana hill. It is best, therefore, that one not try to imitate the powerful, but simply follow their instructions. Nor should one try to occupy their posts without qualification. There are so many incarnations of God without the power of Supreme Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Stop here. Any doubts? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare